All right, so what I'm going to show you today is a crash course in design lettering. The first thing you want to do when you're making a poster or a sign or anything is you want to figure out how your letters are going to be laid out. And a lot of times we have trouble when we freehand it making the line straight or the word straight, or making sure we have enough room for all of our letters. So the first thing you want to do is draw yourself some very light guidelines. And using one of these rulers that I have here, what you're going to do is you're going to use these tick marks on the inch side and line them up with the side of the paper like this, and then make sure it's straight. Sometimes I check the other side too, but that's kind of a quick, easy way to make sure your line is pretty straight. And then you're going to draw a very light line there, and then move the ruler up and do the same thing up higher, and this will give you a guideline for making sure that your letters are all kind of the same size. So I'm just going to use my first name, which is Denise, and Denise has 6 letters, so that means I need 6 spaces. So I'm going to kind of eyeball the center spot, and then I need to break each half into 3. And so I'm just going to make myself, again, I'm just eyeballing this, so they might not be exact, but they're approximate. And then the next thing I usually do is start with the middle letters, and I'm going to be doing all caps for this one. When you're just starting out learning this kind of lettering, sometimes capitals can be a little bit easier. And I'm printing them as neatly as I can, and I'm also printing them very lightly because these original letters will get erased. You want to make sure that there is space in between each letter, and that you're making sure that your letters are consistently sized. So all of the capitals are all the same height and hopefully about the same width also. So I'm going to go here and do E, and then my T here. All right, so now I've got my name. And the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to draw a fence around all of my letters. And when I do this, I want to make sure that I'm not touching the original letter, which is why I call it drawing a fence. And then you got to get the inside of the letters like D and R. So then I would just continue, and I am going outside the guidelines now, but I'm making sure that I'm making them all about the same size. When you come to the end of a line like this, draw a straight line and then work your way around the corners. All right. So that's how you would do block letters. You don't have to always do the same kind of fence. So you could do bubble letters, so you could make it rounded. You could do zigzag. You could do cloud or cotton candy type style letters. So you can really do any kind of line that you want around these. Could do weighty. It works for a lot of different styles. So once you get all your letters with fences around them, you are going to then go and erase your guidelines and your original letters, which is why we need to write them so lightly, because you don't want them to show. I'm just doing a quick job here so you get the idea. And then obviously fix up any lines that you erased on accident that you didn't mean to. So that's how you would do it with capital letters. If you wanted to do it with lowercase or change things up, it would be kind of the same thing. You want to have a guideline. I'm just going to hand draw it in here, hopefully. Again, space out your letters so you've got room in between. And then you would just go about it the same way. With small case letters like this, you just got to make sure that you are getting the inside also. And again, you want to make sure that you're taking your time and you're making the letter, the thickness of the letters consistent. All right. The other thing you can do, again, with just straight up printing, make sure again that your letters are consistently sized and very neat. Is you can take each individual letter and kind of give it a ribbon effect. So what you do is all the vertical lines you're going to make wider. Again, I'm doing this pretty fast, but you would want to make sure that that your letters are consistent and the thickness that you're adding is also the same for each letter as much as you can. And then you would go in and you would color these in so they're wider, or so they're darker. Like that. So that is your crash course in design lettering.